Someone was like, oh, Joe, you're the same.
Hello and welcome to Miami, where we are not far away from the Jake Paul AnEsonGib press conference. Stay with us, it's live. You can already see the main man, AnEsonGib, has joined Joe Weller and I. Gib.
Hello.
How you doing? How are the nerves?
Fantastic, lad. It's like this. Yeah. It's like this. When it comes to, you know what it is? When it comes to fighting, I'm about it. When it's like this, second ever press conference, like, oh shit, what's it gonna be like? But
Apologise for language. Do you remember at the start of this you said, I'll do my best not to swear. That was about 30 seconds. No, it's fine. Carry on. I've apologised. Carry on.
yeah, so when it's something new, you get a bit angsty, but I'm here to deliver a show. That's what it is.
How are you, Joe? Excited for this?
Yeah, obviously getting closer and closer now. I know you are in the right place, and that's what I like to see. So yeah, I'm happy.
Got any plans for today?
Any plans?
Yeah. Any tricks up your sleeve at all?
No, it's fight time. There's no more games. There's no more smiles towards Jake. It's time to fight him in 2 days. So that's all it's about right now.
Do you think he's going to bring any tricks? Because the aim of the game here for him surely is to get under your skin. If he can rattle you just a fraction, just a little bit, get under your skin.
We did the face-to-face 20 minutes ago, which was a bit pointless because we're just going to repeat ourselves now. But
can you give us a sneak peek? How did that go?
I can't say half of it because we're on Sky. I can't say the stories I told you.
Wait. What about the story of Jake's mum filming you without permission?
Oh, so she's staying in my same hotel, and I went to the gym. I saw her, so I was like, "Hi, Pam." Her name's Pam. So I was nice. She went, "Hey, Gib." So she started.
Okay, good start. Cordial relationship. Good
she's
start.
doing her yoga. I'm running and I'm practicing just swiveling my body. Yeah. She starts recording me. I didn't notice. Yeah. I thought we were on good terms. Yeah. So in the face to face, she's like, "I seen you shadowboxing. It's not the best, Gib." Yeah. And I looked. Who recorded me shadowboxing? She said, "My mum."
Oh, Jake said that.
Jake said my mum.
Face off.
So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, I called her a snake. She sneaked me. No, but isn't that bad?
I mean, I think is that against the law?
No, bad.
Filming someone in a gym without permission, that's not allowed. That's straight up
I could have been
not allowed.
topless as well.
Yeah.
Indecent. Sorry. Sorry.
What about your physique? So I've read some quotes that boxing has literally changed your body shape completely. How hard has the training been compared to what you were doing before?
So I've been training for about 4 years with Vidal. So before, I was fat. Huge, in fact. I couldn't even bench the bar. But now I'm a completely different person. My cardio is very good. I've been training 9 to 15 rounds. And we're bringing a lot of heat to this fight. We're bringing a lot of heat.
Have you knocked anyone out in sparring?
I'll be honest, no. I've been sparring professionals. I sparred a guy called Kevin Newman, who's a 12 or 11-1 fighter who's with the Mayweathers. I've been sparring with high-level boxers to put me through it and to test me through it. So the level difference between me and them, I'm never gonna knock them out.
Yeah.
It's not like the same as sparring with JMX or KSI.
Yeah.
Big level difference. So no, I haven't.
But in this fight, are you going for the knockout?
Yeah.
Do you? Because the thing is, you know how it's been indecisive the last couple of ones where it's like, oh, he won, but he may have won. I think we need a knockout in this YouTube scene.
Well, make it decisive.
I think
it's not.
Come on, mate. I reckon you could do this.
It's not going to be some pitter patter, technical stuff. It's some rough house. It's some rough house stuff. Yeah, it's some rough house stuff. Aggressive, relentless. He knows what I'm bringing to the table. I don't think he realizes how fit I am. He's looking at the physique, this little chubby Arab boy that's 5'8", and he's like, oh, he's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
But I'm bringing heat. Heat that he cannot comprehend. So
I think what we're getting is a bit of a AJ Ruiz, the first match sort of scenario. AJ looking ahead.
Looking past the seven-figure giver.
Looking past him, thinking, oh, he hasn't got
even DAZN,
bulging six packs. He can't do nothing, but you can.
No, but even DAZN, they've been wanting this KSI fight. Yeah. But it's me that's in the way.
Exactly. The spanner in the works.
The spanner in the works. I said this yesterday. I'm here to ruin their plans.
Wait, when they announce your name, sometimes you have like a middle thing, like the Nightmare KSI.
Seven-figure giver.
Is that what we're going to do?
Yeah.
I was thinking you should go spanner in the works.
Spanner in the works?
I think that's... I could be a
So
thing.
Jake told us yesterday he's been called the problem child.
The problem child.
The problem.
That is Stormzy. The problem.
Yeah.
He's robbed it.
Bit odd.
How would you compare the Gib from your two previous fights to the Gib that's stepping into the ring on Thursday night, early hours a Friday morning back in the UK on Sky Sports.
My last fight was an amateur fight. This is professional now, so the difference is I've tightened up. It's basically just mastering the fundamentals. I'm not going to be doing no Lomachenko, the triple step. Yeah, like Jake saying I'm the best technical boxer there is. I think I don't think he realizes his own level.
Well, I think what is good is obviously you're fully like comprehending the fact that losing is an option,
Of
and
course.
you've put in the work, and you know you've accepted, and your coaches have kept you grounded. Whereas he seems almost like, yeah, losing impossible, mate. It can't happen. I am the best, and I think that delusion could be what really, when you come forward and do your thing.
Especially if you don't have the experience. If you think just because you're taller and if you're the bigger frame, we're in the same weight class as a catch weight. So I don't know where he gets his confidence from. I believe that he's telling himself and deluding himself. You know, like the law of attraction.
Yeah.
The only thing that he's going to attract are my hands to his face.
Yeah.
That's what he's going to do. That's all the thing that he's going to attract. I should relax a little bit, but that's about it.
Have you spoke to KSI at all? Because obviously he's a man that's very close to you, that's been through this whole professional experience. Has he imparted any wisdom onto you? Has he said anything like, I tell you what, you know, I thought it was going to be like this, but it was actually like that?
Wait, what's like this?
No,
Being
being
in
a
a pro.
professional.
Yeah, because you can do all the sparring, you can do everything that you want. I mean, you've been under the bright lights, but with head guards on, it is going to be surely a different experience when you get under there.
I got a question. Yeah. When we saw Logan and JJ fight with all their months of training, they only tidied up maybe one or two things, right?
They only tightened up
Yeah,
one or two things.
one or two
Okay,
things.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
all the stuff that they practice, this pivot stuff and
Yeah.
all of this.
Use it.
No,
Goes out the window.
maybe one or two things improved from their first fight. So I just gotta make sure I improve on the stuff that I did recklessly.
Because that's
and bring
the thing,
it in.
like obviously when we watch it, you know, you fight previously, whenever you attack is when you seem like you're most vulnerable, because obviously your hands go and so that, do you, is there any worry that when you get into the fight and the adrenaline's going, that you may revert back to that?
Good question, Joe. I like that.
You know, do you know what I mean?
Good
Come on,
question for
son.
you, mate.
Who's had practice?
That is something that I improve the most. When you spar with pros, they don't let little stuff like that slide.
You can't get away with it.
No, not at all. Not at all.
What about mindset? Because I've only met you probably 3 times. You're one of those guys that brings serious energy. That's the best way of putting it. You know,
You're a nutter.
but there is a thing about afterwards. Heard Logan Paul say, you know, I was sick, I had the flu. That's because they did so many media commitments, so many interviews, so much promotion, because they had to promote their own fight. What about not expending energy this week, not getting embroiled in, it's easy to say, you seem so calm up here, but I'm sure when that presser starts, things are going to go mad. What can you do to stop, like, wasted energy? Or does that not even matter?
So this is what it is. When it comes to boxing, I am a learner. I'm not coming across like I am number one. I know my level, and I'm making sure that I'm tidying up at my level. And like Jake, like there's the professionals that I face, I know Jake ain't as good as the professional I face. He's someone at my level, so I'm ready to expose what he hasn't been practicing. Yeah, when it comes to stuff like this, it's new. I said that at the beginning of this interview. It's new, so I don't really know what to expect. I'm gonna go and say what I gotta say. There might be times where I flop it. There might be times where I fucking do.
Okay, apologies for the language. You keep going.
Yeah, there might be times where I do good. So you just gotta see where I go. You just gotta see where I go. I don't even know what's gonna happen.
So, but like talking about obviously how you feel when you're in these high pressure scenarios. You do things impulsively that maybe you're not in control of. Is there any worry that when you get into the high pressure scenario, fight night, that may also happen?
No, because I really like to fight.
Yeah, that's.
I
And that's,
really
I think
like
that's
to
the difference.
fight.
When we obviously commentated the last fight, you were itching to get in that ring.
Yeah.
All you wanted to do is get in there. Say if we were at school, actually no. You do like practical stuff, and that's where you'd excel rather than like the writing and all of that. Is that like fair to say?
Yeah, I can't read or write. That is what you're trying to tell me.
No, but it's in like, wait, no, I didn't mean that. Let's edit that bit out.
I can't read or write. Don't worry.
No,
Okay, the practical stuff. Hey, I did do B-Tech for one thing.
I didn't mean it.
All right. For practical, that's what I'm good at.
The practical.
Yeah? We're talking in front of a cinema.
Yeah.
What's everyone doing here sitting listening to me waffle? How's that happen?
So do you ever think about that, like going from just FIFA videos to now here you are selling out? Wait, it's sold out, right? The arena?
I have absolutely no idea, but I
think it is.
It's
But
sold
so-
out. If
yeah.
it's not, buy your tickets.
So yeah, so how does that feel? How does that ever overwhelm you? The thoughts of
No, it's pretty funny that I finessed
that.
it.
It is quite funny.
It's quite funny.
It is
Like,
quite funny.
how the hell have I finessed it to get me here? And Jake Paul's just agreed
Here
to
we've
it.
got Theo Baker coming in. Come on,
What-
Theo.
Come on. We're on live TV. No swearing.
Theo, you very nearly scuppered this whole thing because I saw you on your YouTube channel ping a ball at Gib and it nearly broke his forearm. So
Yeah,
you nearly ruined this whole thing.
Yeah, I'm really sorry about that, Alex. I'm sorry I booted the ball at you, but you did ask for it.
No, I didn't.
In the clip it says, "Go on, lad,
Oh,
ping
yeah,
the ball
it
at
did.
me."
You do dare him, I think. You
did,
say, I
did.
dare you to hit
I
me.
didn't realise you'd boot it that hard.
I have precise aim.
Fair enough.
Wait, sorry. Theo, how does it feel, obviously, knowing that we started all this? And we are.
So, hold on. Put this into context. You and
That's the
Theo,
thing.
put it,
Yeah.
go all that way back.
Okay.
We probably have you two to thank for all this.
Well,
He's
now,
a pioneer.
Now these.
pioneer.
Yeah, realistically, obviously, like what these boys have actually done, like moving forward, is where you really got to be thankful. But obviously, at the beginning, me and Theo, in a gym, just for a YouTube video, thought it'd be a good idea to do like a little spar, like a boxing match. And
Talk about True Geordie.
True Geordie commentated, I think, just from his living room. I sent him the footage, and then from there, it sort of like grew. I think KSI then wanted to fight the winner, and then that happened, and then it just all just went. But this could have been Malfoy. Malfoy could be, Theo could be standing. His nickname's Malfoy, all right? But he could be fighting Gib right now in an alternate universe.
I did have 10-minute breaks in between each round.
Yeah.
10 minutes.
I was knackered. It's very tiring.
If someone had said to you now, so how many years ago was that?
That was like 2017.
So someone would have said to you in 2017 that you guys, the YouTube community, first off would have been headlining the Staples Centre as professional boxers, and then doing a second fight between Jake Paul and Gib or two others. What would you have said to that person?
I would have said, "Wow, that's crazy." Like you're talking nonsense.
No,
But-
3 months ago when I said, lads, I'm fighting Jake Paul before it was signed,
We did
no
not.
one believed me.
He
I
kept-
told Leon and Vidal, I said, boys, we're training right now.
Yeah.
This fight is happening.
Yeah.
Like, why would Jake Paul ever want to fight you, lad? You think it's a big time? So I said, no, we're training right now. We started training, and now I'm there. Now we're in Miami, Super Bowl
In
weekend.
his defence, we was on holiday in Hawaii before the Logan JJ fight, and he was training every single day. And we're like, "Why are you training? You're not going to fight him. Not going to fight him."
knew.
He was doing press ups. He was doing burpees. We were going out surfing. He was just on the beach doing press ups. Oh, I'm a calculated psychopath. And now look at him. His dreams came true.
Especially after, the first fight you were going for, that all
You?
fell to pieces
Yeah, what?
because your opponent didn't have the bottle. Like, you could have given up and felt like, oh, nothing, the boxing's done.
You know what it was when I saw you?
Called each other out, didn't you?
Basically, Gib saw, right, where's the next big money fight I
Yeah.
can go? Where is it? Ringside,
Theo,
commentating.
stay in, Theo, don't go
Yeah,
anywhere, you
Theo,
stay
don't go. Now, yeah, Gib called me out, and then
Yeah.
obviously on the night, I couldn't say no. I was like, yeah, come on then. And then straight away at the after party, I was like, nah, mate. Funny, nah. No.
You know what triggered me?
What?
When you took the spar with Jake, and in my head I was like, he's got the same mentality as Jake. If I didn't have the clout, I thought it was the clout thing. In my head I was just burning. It might not have been true.
What do you mean?
You know, like you fought Jake.
Yeah.
I thought you only fought him because he's just big time, innit?
What, as in like what? You thought,
Yeah.
wait, hold on, wait,
I know it's not true. I
No,
know,
wait, lads,
I know it's not
lads,
true.
wait,
I know
one
it's
second.
not true. I know it's not
One
true. I'm
second.
just saying my mental thought process in it. I'm just switching. It's
wait,
not true. I know it's not
Oh,
true.
let
I
me
know it's
talk.
not true.
Let me talk.
Sorry,
So,
sorry.
you're saying
Yeah.
that it looks set up. Is that what you're saying?
No.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that I thought you fought him
Yeah.
because it's Jake Paul.
I fought him because I thought, wait, I can go to his back garden,
Yeah.
forget all like doing it in an arena. I'll
Yeah.
go there, do what none of these YouTube mugs
Yeah.
have got the bottle to do,
Yeah.
and beat him,
Yeah.
right, in his own back garden. What happened?
But
I got embarrassed, mate. It was pathetic.
But when I saw it, I was
Yeah.
in my room.
Yeah, you were like, he's gonna
Yeah, I
steal
was
it.
like, I said, well, I
And
said
then-
no to me.
And then afterwards, bruv,
Yeah.
I go and tell him, mate, the person you need to fight is AnEsonGib.
Oh, you did.
That is where this
You did,
all
you did.
started.
You did set
right?
it up, you
So
did
I
set it
want
up.
commission
Commission?
on your 7 figures, please.
I'll buy you a dinner, lad. That's it. That's
Buy
it.
me a dinner, lad. All right.
That's all.
Loads of people saying, what time is the fight in the UK? Programme starts at 2 a.m. Sky Sports main event. It's 2 a.m. Sky Sports main event. Set your alarm. No, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Gib, do you see yourself as an underdog or a favourite?
I was a favourite before my awful push. I was a favourite before my awful push. Yeah, so I do see myself as a favourite because I did set up this fight. Wait, are you doing something?
No, it's because you got your back to him.
Sorry. Go
Put your name on the poster. What more do
Okay,
you
my
want?
bad. You're big.
Let Theo have his moment.
All right, I'll sit here.
Sit down, boy.
Don't say that.
You guys don't need me.
Okay.
You're all right.
I thought. I am the favourite. I sorted the fight. He was trying to pick smaller, skinnier people. Who did he try and fight against? Soldier Boy, Deji. Who else was he calling out? Pathetic people.
Theo Baker, I think, was mentioned at
One of
point.
them.
I could have had him.
One of
That would've
them.
been amazing.
And then I pressed it, and I pressed it, and I pressed it, and I pressed it, and I pressed it until I'm here. Number one promoter.
And now
is
he
amazing.
needs you.
Yes.
He's failing in
Yes.
views and likes.
That's the one.
Okay. So after this, say, like, obviously, I know you don't want to think into the future, but let's not sit on the fence. No, as in, like, metaphorically. Let's say, no, you can sit down, mate. You can sit down.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
hypothetically, if Logan's up for fighting after this, what are you saying to that? Would you fight Logan?
I focus on one man and one
Yeah,
man.
all right. No, I know. But, hypothetically,
I focus on one man. Yeah, I finesse this. I focus on one man. It's Jake. Jake is what I want. But you know what's embarrassing?
What?
So, you know I've been saying I want the belt.
Yeah.
I can understand for the YouTube space having the belt, blah, blah, blah. But you know when I died inside, when we had the fighter, all the fighters were standing, and he held his belt with the actual world champions.
Oh, what? He's like, but his one's like one you buy from a shop.
Yeah, bro, it's really bad. Like, I don't know why he had it.
Like, do you actually want to walk around with that, like, when you win?
Well, I just wanted it in my YouTube videos.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
hey, wait, lad, I took your belt. I took your belt.
I've got a question for you.
What?
What's next?
No, he won't answer.
You just
He won't
answer.
answer.
Oh, so you're not doing...
So even if you ask, like, what will you go to, like, Nando's after the fight? He doesn't know because all he thinks about is just the fight Thursday night, and that is it.
Question. What's going to be your first meal?
Thing is, I've been saying that a
Five
lot.
Guys.
I've been saying a lot in camp. I wanted a Popeyes. Yeah, but now
Popeyes? Who's that?
I've gone off of
Other
it.
brands are available.
Other brands are available.
Chick-fil-A as well.
No, sir.
What, you don't like Chick-fil-A?
No, I love Chick-fil-A.
Oh, we
I
can't.
mean, no, I don't. What do I like?
Anyways,
Sorry.
anyways,
I
so
want a chicken burger.
okay, very interesting. So obviously,
Yes.
you've invited some guests. Have you invited any like friends, family that is going to be supporting you?
The boys are coming.
Is it just the YouTube boys?
The YouTube boys, my dad and my sister will be sitting ringside.
Is that going to be the first time that they've watched you scrap?
No, my dad watches every fight.
In person?
Yeah, it's in person.
Really?
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Should we answer some of the
Oh, he wants his job back.
Yeah. Guys, how you doing? Good to see you. Vihar, why are you so confident, Gib?
I think I have to go. I'm sorry, but the.
Oh, you're getting...
Yes.
Okay, right. Thank you so much
Sorry,
for coming
thank
on.
you.
Wish
Thank
you
you.
all the best.
Thank
Good
you.
luck up there. Theo, you're staying with us. Theo,
Come on, lad.
Theo, you got proper
had a
edged
great-
out.
yeah,
Me
had a
and you
great-
got edged out there, so we had a little chat amongst ourselves. Now you've seen Gib stood next to him there. He's in good shape. Just how excited are you for this whole event?
Very, very excited. He's in great shape. I feel like he's mentally prepared. I feel like Jake's quite scared and he could bottle it. So I have trust in Gib.
Why do you think that that Jake's scared? What have you seen?
Well, I just feel like I think this week, I feel like he's realised how much he could lose. Like, if he loses, could be the end of Jake Paul.
No, but is it or just over like the end of Jake Paul in a
For a month.
YouTube sense? Because as well, like obviously, you know, apparently Logan's meant to be finished, but he's like banging views better than ever right now. So like, is that whole thing of ending someone? I don't think you can end a social media person, like personally.
I feel like there's a difference between Jake and Logan.
No, but
I feel like
they're still both YouTubers,
on
mate.
YouTube, Logan's quite respected in the content he makes. Like everyone actually quite likes his
Oh, okay.
videos. But with Jake, it's not really the case.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
No, I do
feel
know what
like
you mean.
it-
I do
it
know what
could-
you mean.
Yeah.
So what you're
One
saying?
thing is it's surely the method of victory. If someone gets knocked out, that's very, very different to getting edged out on points.
Yeah.
At the end of KSI and Logan Paul, nobody really knew who won. The point deduction, the knockdown that wasn't called. You kind of came away thinking, I don't really know who won it. I don't really know who lost it. The whole thing in that build-up was, I'm going to make you a meme. You know, if you get knocked out in front of millions of people, it's very, very different to getting edged out on points. I think that could be quite important. Don't know how you deal with that. What would you think?
Well, I think obviously Gib even getting this fight, or Jakey Paul's just arrived. But
I don't know if you can see over our shoulder. That is Jake Paul making his way to the stage.
Getting warmed up.
God, what's he doing?
Getting warmed up.
Looks like nervous energy to me, boys.
He's releasing some nerves.
That there. What's he doing? Why would you do that? Like, I'm not gonna lie. The man that comes in and is the most calm, composed, and stays like on his normal sort of like wavelength, like balance. I think that is who you can tell is more confident, rather than the person that's being like outlandish and going, like trying to, like you're saying.
Story.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I think that's clear. And doing all that, oh bloody hell, do you know what I mean?
I think that's one of the things where Vidal is very important. Vidal's a professional boxer. He's been there time and time again. He's part of the Mayweather stable now. He knows about big time pressure, but actually imparting that on your fighter is very, very different. I thought Gibbs spoke really well there. Yeah. Didn't show any signs of nerves or the getting on top of him, but that's going to be one of the big battles, isn't it? Not getting too emotionally invested.
In the first press conference, I thought Vidal was unbelievable. Yeah. Like, they were trying to put him on it, and he was just remaining calm, balanced, composed, and I think that's hopefully rubbed off on Gib. Hopefully he can bring that mentality into the press conference today.
Without a doubt, like Vidal just is so like calm, composed, and I think that is what needs to rub off and does rub off on his fighters more than anything. Just that ability, no matter what the situation is, I can deal with this. I'm in charge. I'm in control. Whereas if you've got people that are just sort of like doing whatever you say and you know, allowing you to, if you're reacting in a weird way that's not sort of like the done thing, and allowing you to get away with that, then I don't think that's healthy in the long term. And I think, you know, they stay on top of Gib in his camp. If he does something wrong or steps out of line, they bring him down a level.
Prime example, he
that's
just walked out composed, calm, not said a word, sits down, gets the job done, and that's what he's going to do on Thursday.
In not too distant future, I'm going to ask you both to step out so everyone can see what's going on here. One thing that is worth mentioning, you guys come this way so we can just see what's going on there. In the suit there, not many people in the YouTube world will know that Sugar Shane Mosley, one of the best to ever do it. So although we're talking about how important Vidal is to Gib, Shane Mosley can impart a wealth of wisdom. But I think, Joe, what did Gib say? That they've been together 4 years, Vidal and Gib, and I think Shane Mosley and Jake Paul have been together just a matter of months.
Yeah, so basically I think Gib was the first YouTube guy to train with Vidal. Yeah, so they've had like the longest relationship out of them all. And I think, like, you know, the fact that he's transformed Gib from a guy that does no exercise, stays in his room a lot of the time, to being a professional athlete, that chemistry, that connection, that trust in, you know, the whole process is going to be so strong for those guys. Whereas, you know, someone that you've only met recently, and yeah, they may have all these qualities, but you know, if you haven't built up over time that relationship, it's, you know, you can question it. Is it going to be as effective?
What can we read into how they both look here?
I think Jake's just releasing off that nervous energy. Like, he's trying to make up. Like, if he came out, I don't know. I feel like he's just putting on a bit of a persona, whereas Gibbs just seems quite calm and is just here to do the press conference. Whereas I always feel like Jake's always here to try and put on a show, make someone talk, make someone, like, I don't know. So, not a fan.
Overall, you don't know. No. Basically, what I'm seeing is, so, a little fun fact. Your adrenaline affects your legs a lot, so it makes you want to stand up, makes you want to move your legs and stuff and jump around, literally. And that's what we're seeing from Jake. He can't sit still. He can't just relax, which shows nervous energy. He may be just excited, but it may be a lot of anxiety as well. So, what I'm saying, Gib looks the more comfortable, more composed, more in the zone, in my opinion.
A lot of questions coming in. We covered it earlier in the podcast, Joe. A lot of people saying, would you fight Deji? Sorry to throw this on you now, moments before the press conference. You probably want some time to explain it. 20
quid. Let's do it in the car park, mate. No, I'm joking. Honestly.
7-figure Weller.
8-figure Weller, and we can talk Edward Hearn. Nah. Overall, look, the only way I'll fight is if it makes sense and I'm truly wanting to at this point. I'm enjoying what these boys are doing, but we'll see. Maybe Theo Baker will get in the ring. Theo Baker versus Logan Paul. Let's make it happen. Everyone in the comments, let's petition for it.
Oh, Lord. I couldn't think of anything worse than learning to box.
It's not for everyone. Don't you think that was interesting what Gibbs said? He loves it. Yeah. He loves it. It's not just a money-making scheme for him. I'm sure he could just do, I'm not doing it down, but there's easier ways of making money than turning pro.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the thing, like, you know, the whole show, putting on the persona and talking and all that, that's not his thing. He's not you know, he doesn't really enjoy that element.
And that's so funny from someone that doesn't know him and just seen him from his videos, because you assume actually that that's the one thing he does love.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he loves obviously entertaining, 100%, but he, like you say, through his energy, through his, you know, physical sort of, yeah, I think overall he's just more of a physical guy in how he does his thing. So fighting, exercise, you know, sport is how he'd like to express himself, rather than just like words and trying to put on some sort of character that isn't really him. Do you know?
Actions speak louder than words, and he's a true believer of that.
There's some calls coming in for Theo. Theo fight Logan. Theo fight Logan. You've done so. You're having.
What have you done? I don't want my name dragged into this.
Having just said I'm never going to do it, you're doing it, mate.
Okay, all right. There you go. It's signed. Me and Logan.
What would your nickname be?
I'd be Theo, the Dominator Baker.
So Theo would like to dominate Logan Paul within.
Within what? Oh no. Okay.
No, yeah. Well, let's
No, stay. Let's keep it clean. Let's keep it clean. It's kids watching back home, Joe. Come on, you're better than this.
Shit, bro. Oh, here we go.
And there he goes, straight into it.
No swearing, Jakey.
Yeah, there will be some strong language in this press conference. Of that, I'm 100%. So I'm probably getting hammered for apologising, but apologies in advance if you're offended by any of the language you're going to hear in this press conference. Eddie Hearn making his way onto stage, beaming like a Cheshire cat. Where did Seven Figure Gibber start? Where did that come from? Was that a YouTube thing, or was that an Eddie Hearn thing?
No, I think he just obviously he knows how much Logan and JJ made from their fight. So he's saying, if you're going to get me, I want to be up there. I don't want to be taken lightly. So yeah, he did it, basically invent it when the whole boxing thing came around. It's not been a long-term thing, but he loves it and we love it.
Okay, Eddie Hearn going to chair this press conference. Let's get over to it.
Welcome everybody, and you ready? We're ready. Welcome everybody to Miami. Big week, Super Bowl week, and a huge fight card here on Thursday night, live and exclusively on DAZN. 2 press conferences for you today. Firstly, the madness of these guys, and then we flip to a World Championship triple header, which is absolutely breathtaking. I think it's one of the strongest cards, I was going to say 2020, it definitely is, but even of last year as well. I'm looking to kickstart a big year on DAZN, and we look forward to doing so with an exciting card on Thursday night. This world that we're living in now of YouTubers, sports stars, reality stars wanting to take part in big fights is an interesting one. Last November, we saw a staggering event at the Staples Center. KSI against Logan Paul. It was one of the biggest subscription drivers for DAZN, one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year on UK, on Sky Sports as well. And it's remarkable to see the level of interest and the eyeballs that come in, and the new blood that's coming into the sport from fans watching these guys, their heroes, take part in the ring. For me, as a hardcore boxing fan, I think the most important thing is the respect that these guys give the sport. And you'll see a couple of great trainers up here. Firstly, in Vidal, who obviously got the big win with KSI, and also an absolute legend in Shane Mosley as well. These guys have put the work in. They've been up in Big Bear with Jake and Anderson in Vegas as well, putting the hard work in to try and win this fight. As long as they continue to respect the code of boxing, we're happy to welcome this new blood, this new age of fan into the sport. And we've seen that our subscriber numbers, the viewership numbers who enjoyed the KSI Logan Paul fight, also enjoyed Anthony Joshua against Andy Ruiz too, who also enjoyed Jacobs against Chavez and other great content that DAZN have been putting out. So this is something that myself and Joe Markowski have taken a little bit of criticism for, but we're not short-sighted. We know there is a method behind this madness. We know that it's working. But at the same time, we know that we must respect the code of this great sport. And here you have 2 guys who have put the work in. I have no idea what's going to happen in this fight. In the KSI Logan Paul fight, I said many times, I think there's a few gifs floating around as well and memes, 10-ounce gloves, someone's getting knocked out. And it was 10-ounce gloves, no headgear. Someone didn't get knocked out. Jake tells me this time that's not the case. And you said to me just then, I see in your eyes, you know I'm going to win. But I've got to say, There's something about you, young man. There is something about you. And I'm not sure yet, but I think you're a tough man. I think you're going to be tough to beat. But one thing I will say is, all the pressure is on you.
Fact.
All right? In this
Pressure
fight.
creates diamonds.
Okay.
Can we give it up for Eddie Hearn, by the way? Great guy.
Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. But we're going to hear from you guys shortly. Firstly, over to our partner. I'm going to tell him that he's responsible for this new YouTube invasion into boxing. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Markowski from DAZN.
Thanks, Eddie. It's great to be here in Miami during such a big sporting week. I've been here all day, and it's clear that the city's packed with athletes, celebrities, media and brands. And to be fair, so is this room if we're going to count Eddie Hearn as a celebrity. And appropriately, our card is no different. In addition to the championship triple header that Eddie's already mentioned, Thursday's co-main event will see Jake Paul looking to avenge his brother Logan's loss to KSI against this man to my left, Gib, potentially on the way to a fight himself with KSI in the future. In terms of the interest this fight is generating for us, our pre-fight show 40 Days has already been viewed more than 4 million times on YouTube. And that's a testament, obviously, to the fan bases that these two individuals command. They're businessmen, they're content creators, and for the first time on Thursday night in Miami, they will be professional fighters. The only place you can watch it is on DAZN. Just download the app, simple process, and enjoy. I want to thank the fighters and their coaches and their teams for making the most of this opportunity. Busy week we put you through in terms of media obligations, so we appreciate that. Thank you for the buzz you guys are generating on social. It's a noisy week. We're right at the heart of it, and we look forward to seeing everyone on Thursday night. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Joe. We'll go to their teams now. I'm going to speak to you guys from your seats as well, so if you could pass your mics to your respective trainers. Vidal, firstly, I'll start with you. I think one of the great images of 2019 was you dropping to your knees when KSI got the victory at the Staples Center. Big week, big moment for you guys. We know you're a pro fighter, and that's where your future lies, but that was a big moment for the team to get that victory.
100%. You know, we're looking to repeat the same thing in a couple of days. It was a huge win, groundbreaking event. You know, we broke through a lot of doors with it, and it was just great to come out on the winning side. So, looking to repeat the same in 2 days. We've never lost, and I intend to keep that going.
Tell us about your charge in AnEsonGib. I've seen a little bit of footage. I would say unorthodox is a word that I might use as well. But,
unorthodox.
But I've seen the improvements that he made from his first fight.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I turned on to that fight a couple of weeks ago, your first ever fight, and I was thinking, my God, this might be a little bit tricky. The second fight, the improvements you made, and watching you in your camp as well, improving as a fighter.
Definitely. You know, the thing with Gib is, as I said before in other interviews, I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's the best boxer in the world, because he isn't, but neither was Marcus Maidana, you know, and he beat boxers way superior than him. And I feel like I can compare Gib to him because he has that rough element, and he provides something that I don't think people from his community should have. You know, he has more toughness than the average YouTube guy. And I feel like that's enough for him to beat Jake, combined with pressure, combinations, the chin. You know, I've hit him hard myself on purpose just to test him, and he's taken no shots. And I don't feel like, you know, Jake's going to be able to do much with him.
I think that most people going into the first fight would have said that Logan was perhaps technically more skilled than KSI. And again, the same here with Jake. But you just feel, and a lot in the first fight was about KSI's, you know, robustness, his toughness, his will to win. Is that what it's going to come down to here as well?
That's the thing, you know, the way KSI fought Logan, Gib fights like that, but more refined, because that's his style. You know, JJ didn't show any of that in training. He just said, you know what, on the day, I'm going to battle. And he did, and he got the victory. Gib fights like that, and he's used to fighting like that. And that's why it's very dangerous for his opponent, Jake.
Thank you, Vidal. Shane, did you ever think that you would be in the corner of something like this, of a moment like this, these new age of fans? I've seen you up in Big Bear.
Yeah,
this young man looks like he's put the work in.
He's definitely put the work in. And, you know, Jake is not only he didn't just come to me just randomly, like, oh, Shane, will you train me? It was more, you know, we're more friends than anything. So I've been knowing him for a couple of years now, and you know, I wanted to train him and show him all the ropes of boxing, and he showed me that he could put in the work. He showed me that he really loved the sport of boxing and that he was taking it very seriously. And I'm very happy by the progress that Jake has done in Big Bear, and just the people he's worked with. They're impressed by him. Everybody's impressed by Jake and how he's taken to the boxing world.
Where do you lie on this whole scene? I mean, obviously you are one of the greatest fighters of all time. You have so much history in the sport. There is a lot of mixed feelings about these new age of celebrities, if you like, coming into the sport. They're bringing massive eyeballs to the sport of boxing. We saw that with the KSI Logan Paul fight. But obviously you see it from the inside. You see that these guys are putting the work in and do have the desire.
No, they definitely have the desire, and it's just like anybody that just comes off the street and wants to fight. And I'm not going to train you if you're not putting 100% in, mentally, physically, all the way around. You know, I'm very impressed by Jake, by his athletic ability, by his mentality, how he approaches the fight. It's like he's working harder than a lot of professional fighters that I know that come up there and work with them. He's actually outworking them. So he's definitely put the work in. He looks very good. He's strong, he's fast. I mean, he's ready to go.
I guess a lot of this is down to how both fighters deal with the occasion on the night. Two guys that aren't experienced, you know, like most world champions going through the ropes. And ultimately, all the work that goes in is going to come down to Thursday night. People talk about Gib has to out-tough Jake Paul. Do you see that toughness from him in sparring? Do you think that he's got the cojones to mix it in there?
Oh, of course. I mean, he's been there with tough guys. I put him to the test. I didn't make it easy for Jake. Like, he has a different mentality, and he doesn't quit. It doesn't matter how hard he's been hit. He's been hit by some of the hardest fighters in the sport at 154, and he didn't quit up in Big Bear. Like, so he's strong. He's ready to go. And you know what I have to say about the YouTube, the whole YouTube thing, boxing thing. It's entertainment. You know, boxing is entertainment, and you know, this is a form of entertainment, and it's bringing a lot of new fans and followers to the sport of boxing, both guys, and I'm happy for it. I'm happy for the sport because now it's going to continue to grow and grow and grow.
Thank you, Shane. Aneson, you crazy mofo.
Hello, lad.
Right? You ready? You ready for this? This is a big moment for your career, your life, whatever it is. I remember we was at the KSI Logan Paul press conference in London. Yeah. People were throwing all sorts at the stage, and then all of a sudden I see this little man try and jump up on the stage.
Keyword little.
And I was like, who's that? He said, it's Gibbs. So I thought, I'm going to go and get him up there. You two came face to face, and now it's on.
It's
Miami, Thursday night,
That's
the world's
it.
watching. You're going to get in there and fight this man. You ready?
The training camp's done. I've been tested, pushed to my limits, but I'm ready to go to war Thursday.
And obviously, this experience for you, you have boxed before. We know you're 2-0 as a fighter. This is your first pro fight.
Yes, sir.
How do you see this fight going? Are you aware of people saying that he may be technically better than you?
I think that's his aim, to go for the technical approach, but when you see me fight, I'm on the rough house shit. It's going to be aggressive, relentless, and I think he knows what's coming.
I think what we saw with Logan Paul and KSI was just that two guys going into an arena who were out of their comfort zone. And once the bell went, everything kind of went out the window, and it was just about who wants it more, who's tougher, who's prepared to hang in there the most. Do you need to take him to the well on Thursday night? Do you need to take him to a bad place? Do you think he has quit in him?
I think he's tried to select his opponents before, and this wasn't his ideal scenario for an occasion. I think he's been dreaming for bigger fights and even picking smaller opponents. So when he comes to fight me, it's definitely going to be a rough night.
When we talk about the build-up to this fight, a lot of the build-up and the sort of point scoring is not about someone who's trained harder or who might be in better shape. It's more about the views and the numbers. And you've been very critical of Jake in that respect, saying that he's done, he's finished. For you, what does this moment mean for you as a YouTuber? Because Jake is a big name. He does have a huge following, but you've kind of come on the blind side here and could become a little bit of a sensation overnight.
Of course, getting this was like, I finessed my way into it. I got it without his choice or being, but when it comes to, wait, repeat the question again, sorry, I forgot. Shit, my bad.
Basically, do you think that he's finished?
There's the risk to reward.
Tell me about Jake Paul.
You hear that laughter? That's what you're going to hear on the night.
You hear that laughter?
That's what you're going to hear on the night.
I can't hear what you're saying.
Tell me about Jake Paul in a YouTube world. Where is he at
Right now, he is in a dangerous place. The risk for him is incredibly high for this fight. For me, I've got nothing to lose. Right now, I've gone in, I've trained as hard as I can. For Jake is definitely in trouble if he doesn't secure the win.
How bad do you want it, Gib?
How bad do I want it? I want it fucking really bad. That's why I train as hard as I can in Vegas.
Jake, are you done? Are you finished in this YouTube world? I mean, what are you here as? Are you a YouTuber? Are you a fighter?
Yeah, no. So I mean, I'm an entrepreneur at the end of the day. When people talk to me about like views and stuff, I've been off the YouTube wave, but I have a baker's dozen influencers in the space that I take a percentage of. My merchandising company fulfills over 100 people's merchandise, some of the biggest influencers in the game. To me, I kind of just can do what I want, and that's why I think is what he doesn't understand is why I'm so dangerous in the ring is because I'm choosing to do this. It's something I'm passionate about, and I've caught the boxing bug, and I've been in training camp for the past 5 months, 2-a-days, nonstop, and there's a lot of course, there's a lot of pressure, like Jake Paul has everything to lose, but like I'm a game time player, and I've been in this situation before with Deji. Imagine if Deji would have beat me. I've been in this exact same position before, except the difference is I think that Deji is faster, a better athlete, and a better boxer than Gib. And when Vidal says, earlier he says, oh, I haven't lost as a coach, that's false because you actually did train Deji as well for a period of 2 months before he switched over, but you did train him for the start of his boxing career. So, there's a lot of lies being told from their side. I'm a game time player. Pressure creates diamonds. And tomorrow or 2 days from now, you will see the work that I put in.
I think from a British perspective, what we're trying to say is, and what we're really asking is, yes, you're an entrepreneur. Yes, you've got some percentages from other YouTubers. Yes, you've been around a long time. You have a huge following. But how big are your bollocks? That's the question we want to know, because we don't want to see it now, but I've just got a feeling. This guy's going to be like, how much do you want it, Jake?
So I wrote a book called You Gotta Want It. It was an Amazon Times bestseller. I have a tattoo right here that says You Gotta Want It. I live my life by that motto, and I actually wanted to be a Navy SEAL before I moved to LA to pursue acting and stuff. And so that mentality, that killer mentality, the only easy day was yesterday. I want it more than anyone in this room combined. There is nothing that this guy can do mentally. Like he's talking about going to war. We can chop it up any single way, but the outcome will remain the same, and that is me winning.
By knockout?
I will see how much heart he has. I think a lot of all I keep on hearing is there's something about this kid, or he's tough, or he's crazy. So, we'll see how far that takes him. I think it's only going 3 rounds. That my coach here thinks that as well. But I do see the heart he has. But I just this is boxing. This isn't. We're not measuring hearts here. So. And I would go as far as to say that I have a bigger heart and I have more on the line. So I'm fighting in that ring with more on my back, and that to me is exciting.
You've mentioned this isn't a one-off for you. It's something that you want to focus on and have more pro fights in. Is the plan straight up beat Gib and then fight KSI? Is that what you want?
100%. That's what I mean by this means so much to me. Is I'm here to avenge the family name, the Paul name. And after I beat Gib, to me, he's a stepping stone. And then I'm going for KSI. And from there, who knows where the sport takes me? But I love it, and it's fun, and I'm good at it. I wouldn't just do something just to fucking do it.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you to the trainers. Jake Paul against AnEsonGib this Thursday live on DAZN across America. Do not miss it. Last time out, we had a great undercard, and we had KSI, Logan Paul. That ended up being the most entertaining fight of the night. I think you're going to see the same kind of thing here. No one knows what is going to happen in this fight. I haven't got a clue, but I know it's going to be a lot of fun. Do not miss it. We're going to pose both guys and their teams here now, and they'll be ready to see you at the weigh-in tomorrow, and we will enter our second press conference shortly. Thank you.
your immediate reaction to what we've just seen and heard there?
1-0 AnEsonGib, simple as.
Really?
Straight up, mate. Look, did you not feel it in the room then when Jake was just waffling and waffling and waffling, just trying to go round the houses, trying to scramble some logical explanation for what he was trying to say, and it just didn't make sense. You know, Gib, he's focused, obviously he's having a laugh, but I just feel like Jake's nervous energy, there's no clear vision for what he's about to do. Like, he keeps just, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Entrepreneur, bloody merchandise, talking about things that aren't relevant. And I just think that, Gibbs in the zone.
Gibbs funny because he doesn't try too hard, maybe he actually said exactly what he was going to do in our little chat beforehand, which was, I'm not going to try too hard with all of this. I'm just going to go out there and do what I do, and it was actually quite nice. It was funny. It was good. We've got guests.
100%. Cal Freezy.
Yes, mate, what's going on?
What did you make of what we just saw there?
Well, the ending was a bit weird. I don't know. He's a bit of an odd bloke, this guy. Like, he's a bit of a clown. But I thought Gibb did well. It was pretty tame. Definitely more tame than the KSI Logan ones, that's for sure.
Am I naive in thinking that I was expecting more? I don't know. The fireworks of KSI and Logan Paul. I think we got, spoiled that. I thought we were going to get that again. It was a very different atmosphere from start to finish.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think those two characters, especially JJ almost brings it out of their opponents and things like that. But I think Gibbs almost the opposite. I think Gibbs really just cares about fighting. He really doesn't enjoy this sort of stuff. He just wants to get in the ring and just put all the pain into Jake Paul.
Do you think that Gibb wins this? This is the first time we spoke to you this week. Are you confident that Gibb is victorious?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to go to decision. No one's going to get knocked out in this one. It's going to go decision. But I've said it before. I think if it's a close fight, they're going to give it to Jake because they're going to want to see that KSI versus Jake fight. But I think Gibb wins convincingly. So I'm not too bothered. It's going to go all the way to the decision.
What about LA? We haven't had a chance to speak to you. Do you enjoy the KSI Logan Paul fight? Do you enjoy everything that you saw there?
Yeah, from what I remember. I mean, I had to rewatch it again the day after just to double check that it was all correct. But it was absolutely amazing. For my good friend to win something like that, it's just fantastic. And then obviously all the partying afterwards was just carnage. So good times, just carnage.
Yeah, carnage, but well deserved carnage. Well deserved. Do you think we'll see? I don't want to take it away from Gibb and Jake Paul, but do you think that we will see KSI against the winner or loser of this fight? I mean, you can't imagine that he would fight Gibb, but would he fight Jake Paul, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think, if he has to, he'll fight Jake Paul, but, I don't think it's going to get to that point anyways. I don't think he fights Gibb. So, it's either Jake Paul or he's just probably putting out another album or something like that. I don't know. He's always coming up with new stuff, so we'll see.
It's dangerous to look too far ahead. I wonder what you take from KSI's name has been in everyone's mouth, particularly Jake Paul's mouth all week. We've seen it in boxing so many times, littered with looking one step ahead, 2 steps ahead, it can catch you up. I don't want to seem like I'm on Gibbs' side, but you do get the impression that they're businessmen and he's looking for the business, and that business for him is KSI. The problem is you'll get caught out if that happens.
Without a doubt, I think you're seeing something similar to AJ Ruiz, where it's just, Jake's overlooking, he's looking ahead, he's looking too far forward, whereas this is all Gibbs' energy is on. You ask him any other question, he doesn't care. He just wants this fight, and that is it. I just think overall that is a demonstration for whose head is in the right place. Jake waffling about all sorts, it's just irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Anything bar Thursday does not matter, and that's all he spoke about. That's all he really spoke about. So I just think overall the composed, team that's in the right place is Team Gibb. Shane and Jake, I think they're two on paper. They bring a lot of qualities, but I don't see that as a unit and a team that can actually beat Team Gibb, in my opinion.
Before I let you go, final prediction then.
Yeah, like I said, it's going to go all the way to decision. I reckon Gibb wins easily on decision. Looking forward to the night, and come on, Team Gibber, let's go.
I'm just going to make sure I'm not going to the same after party as you by the sounds of that. Enjoy it. I've got to swap you out. Let's bring in Frank Smith from Match Source. Frank, how you doing?
Very good, thanks. I'm thinking about setting up a YouTube page.
Okay, what would you do?
I don't know. I'm a bit boring. Can you give me some advice?
I reckon
you could be describing me, mate. Don't worry.
I reckon Chubby Bunny Challenge. Start off with one of them. They're great. Wait, do you know what that is?
Steamate is
Mate, do you not know what that is?
No, I've got
It's
no
where you put
idea.
marshmallows in your mouth and try and it's an all sort. It's crazy.
because I was a bit
No,
overweight.
mate. See, that's where you need to get on it. Learn.
Sucking it in on the stream. Frank, one thing that we should ask you about is when the whole KSI Logan Paul fight was first mentioned on Matchroom, the backlash was huge. How do you feel the reactions has been post that fight? Because I don't know if you feel the same. Seems to have mellowed a little bit. There was an acceptance that they did. It was an entertaining fight. They trained hard and they did what they wanted to achieve what they wanted to achieve. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think the fact, like Eddie said in there, the fact that they go in there, give it everything, they take it seriously, go and put themselves in a training camp for 3-4 months. That I see that as the difference. If they're coming in just like I've trained for a week and I'm going to have a tear up with this other geezer off YouTube, there's a problem there. We won't be involved with it. But the fact they're taking it seriously, I think people have come round to it. The fact the fight was actually quite entertaining last time round. I sat there, I was intrigued throughout. I watched a lot of boxing. It was fun, and it means everything to these guys as well. You remember that a lot of fighters get in there and they're building something else. These fights mean literally everything. You can tell that both of these guys on Thursday night are going to go in there and give it 100% because to them this is everything they've got ahead of them. Like, you'll know the mindset a lot more with these guys themselves, but I think it has changed, and I think some people, a lot of boxing fans aren't always going to love it, but it's bringing a new audience, and I think that's good for the sport overall.
What about why we're here and the time? Miami, why choose? It is. It 100% is. Come to Miami. I'm not working for the tourist board. Come to Miami. Why Miami and why Thursday night? On Super Bowl week.
Yeah, obviously DAZN, sorry, I didn't know if we were starting. DAZN are doing a lot of work. They do a lot of work with the NFL in other markets, and they wanted to come here. It was a big push for them to come to it with all the media around here. There's a lot going on, as you can see. You got Radio Row. The whole week literally turns into every media outlet is here, and it's a big thing. To do an event around the Super Bowl is great for us. Just the buzz around the area, celebrities, influencers, YouTubers, everyone's here. So for us, it's good. It's good for the brand. It's good to bring a new audience in. Hopefully, we'll bring a few new people across.
Let's bring in one of those people. Frank, I'll say goodbye to you now. Are you swapping me out? Yeah, substitution. It's a very fluid situation here. The champ, come on in. I'll shake your hand. I don't want to shake your hand too strongly, though, because you have been injured. Which arm was it again?
This one, the right one.
How has your recovery been? Devin Haney, ladies and gentlemen, on our stream.
It's been great. Everyone's been real timid with me with my arm. Everyone has that's like, I thank everyone for that. But recovery has been great. I just started physical therapy, so my shoulder's coming along well, and I should be back in the ring soon.
Yeah, I mean, you will have a window. 2020 is going to be a big year for you. Realistically, how long before you're punching again? Realistically, how long before you're sparring again? And what would you say to Eddie in terms of fight date? What's a realistic goal for you?
We're taking it slow. There is no rush. I'm still young. It's a lot of big fights out there. For me. And I understand that. So when I come back, I want to be 100%. It's looking like I'll be back training. Almost full throttle in about a month and a half. Towards the end of June, early July, I'll be back in the ring.
What did you learn about yourself in the last fight? Obviously, you boxed as part of the KSI Logan Paul event, and it was the first probably sign of adversity that you had to nurse your way through a fight with one arm. Yeah. You learned something about yourself. What was the whole experience like there, having to adapt, I suppose?
Yeah. That's what it's about, being able to adapt. I showed that, I'm a true champion, that I can fight through anything. If I didn't say anything, no one would have never knew that I was injured or that I had a serious injury, So, I showed that I'm a true champion, I can fight through anything.
Who's on your hit list? Would you go straight into a Lomachenko fight? Do you need a warm-up? Luke Campbell fight for version of the world title. What do we think?
I want to make the biggest fights happen, I've been saying this for a long time, and I continue to say it, if I can get a big fight, as soon as I come back, then so be it, I want to make it happen, but I'm ready.
Can I just say there's a load of people watching on our YouTube channel here, so choose your words carefully. Are you going to go Team Paul or are you going to go Team Gib for this one? What are you saying?
I don't really know Gib, to be honest with you.
So were you here for the presser? He said, "I'll bring that rough house." So that's that rough house stuff. That's what he said. Jake Paul's going to try and box.
I'm going with the boxer.
Okay. Wait, but what about over 6 rounds? In the last one, it was just obviously KSI brought the aggression and just it was a bit wild. Yeah. But that's sort of got him the decision because he sort of was the aggressor of the fight.
Yeah.
Do you not think maybe that, the guy that does that shows the more heart may have the better chance?
I think with the fighters who don't have a lot of experience, when they do go put that type of pressure on the fighter who doesn't have that much experience, they normally win, or they're able to overwhelm their opponent. So whoever puts the pressure on the other one, if he wins, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
6-3s, how hard is that? They've never done anything like that before. I mean, do you remember the first time? Did you go from 4 to 6, or did you go straight to 6 rounders?
No, I did. I started at 4, and then I went to 6. So I did like 3 4s, but they never went 4 rounds. I didn't have my first, it didn't go to distance until I was at 6 rounds. So I guess you could say I went from 4 to 6, straight to 6, really.
Okay. Brilliant. Well, listen, I don't want to keep you any longer. Thank you very much. Devin Haney.
Nice one.
Let's bring Theo Baker back in. Look, he's trying to get away from us, but he doesn't look too happy. We're not too far away from kicking off this press conference. Theo, just want to very quickly get your reaction. You were laughing away during that whole press conference. You were. Yeah, I mean, there was some brilliant moments in that. What did you make of the whole thing?
I thought it was quite funny.
Maybe they weren't even trying to be funny this time.
No, I think Gib took the win on that. He seemed more composed and more level-headed, whereas Jake was making a bit I've wrote a book, okay.
He read it. That's the thing.
No one cares.
Yeah.
No one cares that he got a
But you said I'm actually. Well, he
wrote a book. He didn't read a book.
He said he read it.
No, he wrote it.
He wrote it.
Yeah, I think.
Why is he bringing it
I think
out?
he said it had won awards. So funnily enough, I now do want to see what the book's all about. So he's got a fan.
Well, he's in your head.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, why is he rattling around? I know. He's living in there rent-free. So.
He's got free promotion. It's unacceptable.
Yeah, but they're aiming at my sort of, my sort of mentality. I might have a look at that book. I'm old before my time, evidently. Evidently, you look at me like I'm mad. Yeah, I mean, what about the head-to-head as well?
He looked like an idiot. What was he doing? He's just making himself got a double chin, but you can't see it because obviously the beard. But he just looked wrong.
Yeah.
He didn't look right.
For me, mate, it just looked like he was it's someone that's trying to cover up how they actually feel. If Jake was normal and on his normal baseline behaviour, he would have done the head-to-head, looked him in the eyes, and been serious about it. It's almost like he's leaning back. He's wanting to get away from the reality of what's going on. I'm maybe looking into it a bit too much, but I'm just seeing overall he's not being his normal self.
I think it's just classic Jake Paul. He just never really looks good at this sort of stuff. He always comes off with why has he done that? What's he doing this for?
But he tries to play he tries to be a troll. He tries to make himself look stupid, but in a way that he's wanting to do that. Today, I think he was trying to be serious and trying to be, intellectual and he's witty, but he just looked really cringy. It just didn't come over right. We were all looking around what's he going on about? It's just irrelevant.
Yeah.
One thing I would say is we've done a lot of high-profile fights where you talk about who won, lost the press conference, and ultimately it doesn't really matter. But these guys aren't anything other than 2 YouTubers who happen to be in professional boxing. Does the winning or losing the press conference matter? I don't know. Is it different this time round?
I think, realistically...
You've done it. You've done a press conference. Did it affect you?
100%. Well, the one before the fight, I was told to sort of stay calm, don't go too crazy.
Let's step out here.
But in a way, that made me be someone that I wasn't. It made me have to almost put on a persona, and that, in effect, made me less confident, less feeling comfortable in the situation, being myself. So, yeah. And then I went on to lose the press conference, and the rest happened.
Of World Championship Boxing, World Championship triple header coming to you live on DAZN this Thursday from Miami. Super Bowl week, so much on the line for these guys. So many other great talents that we're going to be bringing up as well, which we can't even fit on this stage up here. Just a great, great card. When we look beneath these World Championship fights, so much talent as well. Of course, it's a pleasure to have 7-division world champion Amanda Serrano here added to the card, closing in on a fight, as Lou DiBella said, the Super Bowl of women's boxing against Katie Taylor. Not long now, guys. Avril Mathy, young female fighter coming through, and some of our elite young fighters who we're very, very proud of. Arthur Biaslanov, top young fighter. Ofer Jones, looking forward to seeing you back in action. Ammo, can't wait to see you this Thursday night. And Alexis Espino, about time. We're ready for a big 2020. Great to see you. We're going to hear from all you guys shortly as well. When you look at this main stage, this card, I think, is so underrated. We know that everybody in boxing talks about the quality of this card, but even away from the World Championships as well. Anthony Sims Jr., the magician, taking his big first step up against Alfredo Angulo, based here in Miami. WBO Latino title on the line. It is a great 168-pound fight. And then the 3 World Championship fights are all breathtaking. Danny Roman, who is one of, again, I say, the most underrated world champions in boxing today. The unified WBA and IBF super bantamweight world champion. We saw him in probably the fight of 2019, unification fight against TJ Deheny. This time, he's mandatory challenger for the WBA world title, Murajon Akhmadaliev. This young man is one of the most exciting young fighters in world boxing today. Part of World of Boxing, I want to thank Vadim Kornilov and Andrei Rybinski. If you know your boxing, if you've watched your tapes, watch these 2 guys. It is going to be an absolute war for the unified super bantamweight championship of the world. For me, one of the fights on the card, Tevin Farmer against Joe Diaz. This fight's been brewing for a long, long time. It's been a pleasure working with Tevin Farmer and Lou DiBella, the most active world champion in boxing today. His first major breakout fight against a great, great young fighter in Joe Diaz. I want to thank Golden Boy for all their cooperation on this fight. I'm so pleased you guys just said exactly what you said you were going to do last time you come face to face, which was get this fight on. This is a real, real joy for fight fans to see this fight. Demetrius Andrade against Luke Keeler, the WBO World Middleweight Championship. A lot of people saying Demetrius Andrade, the best 160-pounder in the world today. Everybody seems to come in with a plan against Demetrius Andrade, whether it's Akavov, whether it's Maciek Zulecki. They can't win rounds against him. They can't win minutes against him. They can't win seconds against him, let alone win a fight against him. This time, he has an interesting opponent, someone I know a lot more about than the others. Luke Keeler, WBO ranked number 2, very tough, very game, the absolute opportunity of a lifetime. And if you know anything about Ireland, if Luke Keeler pulls this off, he will go home as an absolute hero. Great trainer in Peter Taylor, great team in MTK Global as well. And this is a great, great underrated fight. Luke Keeler is going to be giving it everything to try and become world champion on Thursday night against the excellent Demetrius Andrade. Before we bring some guys up to the stage, I want to pass over to our partner, of course, Joe Markowski from DAZN. Round of applause for Joe and all the fighters that we introduced. Thank you.
Thank you, Eddie, and it's good to be back at it in 2020. In 2019, our first full year in boxing here in the United States, I'm proud to say DAZN was home to every single one of ESPN's year-end boxing awards. Fighter of the Year, Fight of the Year, Round of the Year, Knockout of the Year, and last but not least, Prospect of the Year. We look forward to delivering another stellar year in 2020 to our subscribers, and to kick things off, this week's championship triple header marks the deepest card of the short boxing year so far. As Eddie said, Demetrius Andrade looking to make a big statement on a big stage and lure the biggest names in the division into what will be career-defining matchups later in the year. Tevin Farmer and Joe Diaz, a mouth-watering clash, complete grudge match. Looking forward to that one. A guy in Danny Roman, who's been a DAZN fighter since our DAZN launch, putting both of his belts on the line against a hungry, undefeated fighter in Akhmadaliev. We appreciate all of these fighters for their commitment. It's a big week, but we're cutting through. We're blending worlds. And Thursday night, week of the Super Bowl, you can ask for a bigger stage. So thank you to everyone in attendance, and we'll see you all on Thursday night.
Thank you, Joe. When we talk about women's boxing, as we said, the fight of the year, the century, maybe the entire sport could be approaching us in Katie Taylor against Amanda Serrano, but so many young fighters are coming through as well. Terry Harper, one of our most exciting charges in the UK, fights for the WBC world title next week against Eva Wallstrom. Shannon Courtenay, so many young fighters on our roster, and I'm delighted to welcome up a young lady who has embarked on a career. She's at early stages of her career, already undefeated, part of the MTK team and based here in Miami. Ladies and gentlemen, Avril Matthew.
Hello.
Go for stage is yours.
Hi guys, thanks for coming. I'm really excited to be fighting on this show. It's a huge fight show in Miami, probably one of the biggest that's ever come here. So yeah, it's going to be an amazing night. And I'm, just super thrilled to be fighting alongside these guys.
Woo! Thank you, Everell. And now a young fighter, hungry individual, one of the top young prospects I've seen coming out of Canada, Arthur Biaslanov.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming out. First of all, I want to say Miami. First time here, beautiful place, great atmosphere. I want to thank Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing, for always being well organized and always having top-notch shows. I also want to thank my manager, Keith Conley, and my boxing team. We had a great training camp, and we're more than ready. Come Thursday night, we'll show you why they call me the Wolf. Thank you.
I want to now bring up a young man from Houston, Texas. This guy is a real character, punches so hard, such a limited amateur career, but just flew through the USA rankings. I believe this man is a former world champion for sure, great personality, great individual. You do not want to miss him fight on Thursday night. Ladies and gentlemen, Austin Ammo Williams.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. I want to say, going through the amateurs so fast, I had to just find a way to get the job done, win the fights. But now I got a lot of time to, relax and learn my style, and I've got a lot more resources, more coaches, better sparring and things like that, where I can actually develop my own style. And this year, this decade is going to be my decade, because now I'm not just going to finish the job. I'm going to let my new style emerge that I'm bringing to the game, and I'm bringing something new that the new generation will want to mimic. I think we see a lot of the same things in the sport today, and just like Matchroom is doing, I want to do something very innovative for the sport, and it's time. It's time for Emma to come out and do something new. So thank you guys for checking me out all the time and watching, and everybody who's going to be there Thursday night, expect fireworks.
Well done, Ammo. This young man I'm about to bring up now is in the Robert Garcia gym. I think at this point we should also remind ourselves of the thrilling fight card we have on February the 29th in the Ford Center in Frisco, Dallas, where Mikey Garcia will fight Jesse Vargas. Also, Cal Yafai will defend his world championship against Chocolatito. And our new star from Mexico, Julio Cesar Martinez, will defend his WBC flyweight championship against Wales's Jay Harris as well. Joseph Parker, Murat Gassiev on the card as well. February 29th on DAZN, it's a banger. Also want to acknowledge at this time, probably the most exciting young fighter. We can't even call him an exciting young fighter anymore, because he is a world champion. Ladies and gentlemen, I want a big round of applause for the outstanding future Hall of Famer, future multi-weight world champion, future superstar, Devin Haney, ladies and gentlemen, in the house here. Don't worry, you don't have to come and talk. It's fine. It's fine. We know you're shy, right? This man out of Robert Garcia's gym is an outstanding young fighter. Like Ammo Williams, had a limited amateur background, but has already come through being very, very exciting. Huge puncher, such an exciting young talent. Ladies and gentlemen, from Las Vegas, Nevada, Alexis Espino.
Good afternoon, everybody. I haven't been like that fighting a lot because of my last canceled fights. Not to me, but due to my other opponents. And I've had a lot of time to been working on different things that I wanna show you guys. Shout out to everybody that supports me and always sees my fights and knows that I'm good. I'm really excited for this fight. This is my first time in Miami, and I'm here to put on a show. and you guys gonna see me. You guys gonna see something different, because I'm different, and I believe that. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexis. Alexis also part of the February 29th card in Dallas, coming through on Thursday night cleanly. This young man has got boxing in his blood out of the Soul City gym, one of the top young fighters. He's already boxed stateside here as a pro and also in London. We flew him over. He was absolutely electric, lit up York Hall in Bethnal Green. The UK fans love him. The US fans love him as well. He's got a huge future in the sport. Ladies and gentlemen, from Toledo, Ohio, Otha Jones.
Good afternoon. Let me adjust this. That's good. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for coming out. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Split Team Management. Shout out to Soul City Boxing. Shout out to The Zone. Shout out to Eddie for getting me on his card. Shout out to my sister that came out and supported me. You know, who just earned and solidified the spot on the USA team for the Olympics. Well, where do I start, man? A lot of good talent on this card. We got the slick Tevin Farmer, Demetrius Andre. Hold on, a little backstory. I was at the Devin Haney fight when he first got his title. Yeah, I see you. Shout out to Devin Haney too. Yeah, I think I was getting something to drink, and I seen Demetrius Andre. You know, he's like, "Hey, Otha, I'm talking to me? You know me?" I was just shocked, and you know, it's good to be on this card with him, and good to show my talent with all these good talents, and I'm ready to show that I'm one among these talents, all up here, just like they up here. I'm gonna be up here one day just like them, and I'm gonna show that. Thank you.
Thank you, Otha, and thanks all the young members of the team. It's always a pleasure to work with you guys, so excited about your futures. This young lady is definitely not a prospect. She has already established herself as one of the biggest stars in the sport, male or female. It's irrelevant. 7-division world champion, Amanda Serrano.
Hey guys, I know this is a last minute thing. I just found out last week I'm on the show, and who wouldn't want to be on this incredible show with these great champions? And I'm going to show I'm one of these great champions. Thank you so much, Lou DiBella, Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing, and The Zone for squeezing me in this great show. And come Thursday night, gonna be a great fight. I'm ready. I was training for an MMA fight, but I got canceled, so I squeezed my way in here. And come Thursday, I'm gonna do like I always do, give a hell of a show. And once I pass this fight, then it's Katie Taylor. Take me to UK. Yeah. I don't mind. So let's get through this one first.
Thank you, Amanda. We join everybody here on the top stage now. And again, this is an interesting fight. WBO Latino Super Middleweight Championship. Anthony Sims Jr., what a fighter, what a character, but now it gets very, very real. This is a proper fight to take him to the world rankings, to take him to World Championship fights in 2020. His opponent, the current WBO Latino champion, Alfredo Angulo. Roma Angulo. Roma Alfredo. It's fine, we've got a translator, no problem.
Right here.
Buenas tardes aquí a todos los presentes. Primero que todo, muy agradecido con Dios por esta oportunidad y con todos los representantes que han hecho que esta pelea se lleve a cabo. Y pues nada, muy contento y esperamos hacer una excelente pelea, brindar un bonito espectáculo a todos los presentes y a los que puedan ver la transmisión a través de DAZN. Muchísimas gracias por esta oportunidad y esperamos seguir aquí dándoles unas muy buenas peleas y un muy buen espectáculo. Gracias.
All right, I'll give it a try. Very happy to be here. First of all, thank God for this opportunity. Looking forward to giving a great show in front of all these great boxers. And I look forward to giving my best And thank you very much.
Thank you, Roma. Thank you, Roma. As I said, this young man, they call him the magician. If you ever see him train, watch those feet. He's a joy to watch. And now, as I said before, he's been a pleasure to work with. He's boxed all around the world, boxed in the UK, has a huge fan base in the UK. I believe he can be a major, major star of the sport. And now it's time to get real in these big fights and see what he's made of. And we believe plenty. Ladies and gentlemen, the magician, Anthony Sims Jr.
What's up with it? Since we're telling stories, I got a story about Devin Haney. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and tell the story real quick. So I'm at Devin's house, kicking it. And I walk by and I say, man, it's a nice fox statue you got right here. And he's like, we ain't got a fox statue. I'm like, it's right here, I'm looking at it. So I turn around and I look back and it's gone. Right, so I look up and it's up on the wall. And I'm like, man, give me a broom, I'm about to knock this boy right out the window. She starts screaming and stuff. I'm like, man, calm down, I got this, just line it up. So I hit it, knock it into the pool. His dad gets home and don't believe there's a fox in the house. He thought I was just breaking shit. Yeah, so that's my story. But thank you, DAZN. Thank you, Matchroom. Thank you for the opportunity. You know I bring the funk in the trunk with the skunk and all that junk. I like to have a good time, sticking and moving and grooving. And for those that don't know, yes, I am Latino. Yes, I know. My mother's Cuban. For my Latinos, para mis Latinos, gracias por la oportunidad. Mi español es muy malo. Pero mi español es muy malo porque mi madre no enseñó mi español. Pero ella enseñó mi la pelea. Sí. Gracias, WBO, DAZN, Eddie, Matchroom, everyone again. All my UK mates, I love you gazers. You know, lemon squeezer bros, love you guys. Yes, right, mate. And, you know, they always talk about me fighting better opposition. It's my opportunity. I feel like this is my time, and it's come. I'm well prepared. And expect a funky, groovy night, baby, yeah. Oh, gracias.
Well done, Anthony. Okay, we go to our World Championship fights. As I said before, this fight is, for me, could steal the show on the card. The WBA, the IBF, World Super Bantamweight Championships against the fine champion, Daniel Roman, and Murodjon Akhmadaliev, one of the most talented amateur fighters coming out in recent times, out of the Uzbekistan team, has already looked sensational as a professional. And as I said, Danny Roman coming off the back of a fight of the year against TJ Dehenny. Welcome up to the stage now, the challenger for the WBA and IBF World Super Bantamweight Championship, Murodjon Akhmadaliev.
Ассаламу алейкум всем. Хочу поблагодарить свой менеджер, промоутер Андрей Ганчебинский, Вадим Корнилов, мой другу, брату Алику. И большое спасибо Эдихиру, Матчрум. Увидимся 30-го. Всем большое спасибо.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out to support this event. I want to thank my promoter, World of Boxing, and Andrei Rubinsky, Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, my manager, Vadim Kornilov, all my team, my coaches. Thank you so much for showing up, and see you January 30.
Thank you, Murodjon. And now we move to the champion. I want to say a special thank you to Alex Campanova and Thompson Boxing as well, our partners, on what has been a great run for this individual. Like I said, one of the first fighters to sign to Matchroom Boxing USA and DAZN, coming off the back of a Fight of the Year contender. Ladies and gentlemen, the current WBA and IBF Super Bantamweight World Champion, Danny Roman.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank Eddie Hearns, Matchroom Boxing, and Thompson Boxing for making this possible. I'm excited to be among champions. The card with 3 world championships on the line, and you know what? With all due respect for the champions and the fighters, you know, but I'm gonna make it my night. I'm gonna be the fight of the night, and thank you all. And my respect for my opponent. He's a hungry fighter, but you know, I became a unified champion last year in April, and we're gonna keep it like that. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. Murodjon. It's going to be a great, great fight. This is also a great, great fight. I remember being at the Danny Jacobs and Canelo fight, and these two came together face to face. We promised we'd make this fight. We've got it. Again, thank you to Golden Boy for stepping up and making this fight. Thank you to Joe Diaz, his manager and team as well, for making this fight. And Tevin Farmer, who, I've known him for a long, long time. When you think about success stories, and you can even call it a comeback story, this guy lost many fights on the way through. He never quit. He kept going. He improved. And now I believe he is a great example to young fighters about work ethic, about always believing in himself. And he now stands as the most active world champion in boxing today, as the IBF Super Featherweight World Champion. But on Thursday night, he has by far the biggest test of his career so far. One of the top amateurs of the code previously, now former world title challenger and an excellent fighter who has had a great camp, ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenger for the IBF Super Featherweight World Championship, Joe Diaz.
What's going on, everyone? First off, I want to thank Eddie Hearn. I want to thank Joe DAZN, my manager, Ralph Heredia, Golden Boy Promotions, my father, all my team, Joel, Daryl Hudson, for getting me ready for this fight. It's the toughest fight to date. I know that this is a big fight. It's a big fight for myself, and it's a big fight for just my journey and my career. I've been through a lot of ups and downs in my career, been through a lot these past few years, and that made me the person that I am today and the fighter that I am today, both physically and mentally. And I'm mentally prepared for Tevin Farmer. I know that Tevin Farmer is a hell of a fighter. I know that he's a very slick defensive fighter. But come Thursday night, I'm ready to dethrone him. I know that he's already made his 4th defense. This is his 5th defense. And there's a lot to lose. There's a lot at stake for both of us. I mean, it's sink or swim for me. And it's a lot to lose for him as well, because he has a lot on the line. He's been talking a lot of shit. I've been talking a lot of shit. So we're both going to be backing it up. We're both going to be duking it out. So I'm really excited for this fight, man. I'm excited that we both finally agreed to all the terms and that this fight is actually being made on such a big weekend, Super Bowl weekend, fight week, on such a big card. It's just history in the making, and I'm just happy to be alive and to be a part of it. Tevin Farmer, I hope you're sleeping with that bout, man, because 2 more days, that shit's going to be mine. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jojo. Before we hear from Tevin, I'm going to call up his co-promoter, Lou DiBella, to say a few words. It's been a pleasure working with Lou. I speak to Lou probably 2 or 3 times a day, and that's along with the 8 or 9 missed calls I also get from Lou to moan at me about something else. But he's very passionate at what he does. He works hard for his fighters. Coming up to the Hall of Fame as well. Been in the sport of boxing a long, long time. And he's ready to go with his charge on Thursday. Ladies and gentlemen, Lou DiBella.
Thank you, Ed. There's a tremendous amount of boxing talent to my left and to my right, and there's also Joe Markovsky. No, this is an unbelievable card, and Joe and DAZN should be proud of putting it together. It's got something for everybody. There was a press conference right before this with the YouTube dudes, and there's a lot of people I know that want to see that. It's getting a lot of heat. There's talent from the first bell rings and the first match of the night going through, and there are tremendous fights, and I think the best fight of the night could very well be Joe and Tevin. I got tremendous respect for this kid. He can fight his rear end off. He never gives less than 110%. He comes forward, he makes a fight. He asked for this fight, he made it happen. Tevin's not one to walk away from a challenge, and Tevin got on an airplane to get in this kid's face. And that's frankly because Tevin knew something. He needed a big fight. He needed a guy to fight that was going to make some noise, that was going to get the attention of the boxing industry and give him the credit he deserves for the great fighter I think he is, and he knows he is. And this kid's going to bring it, and it's going to be a war. And that's what it's all about. Let's have some fun. Look forward to Thursday night, Miami Fight Night. Thank you all. And the IBF champion of the world at 130 pounds, Tevin Farmer.
I ain't got much to say today. Every time I come out to speak, I have a lot to say. Today I keep it real simple. First I'm gonna start off by saying I'm gonna beat JoJo ass, flat out. I felt like I'm at another level. But I want to thank Eddie Hearn, Lou DiBella, Matchroom, and DAZN for giving me the opportunity to be active and be on this big card. It's such a big card. There's a lot of talent on this card. When I first heard about this card and the people that was on the card, I'm like, wow, it's amazing to fight with these guys. I know these guys are probably saying the same thing about me. It's amazing to be on here with me, but it's amazing to be on here with them. I feel amazing. I don't feel drained. I don't feel sucked in. I don't feel dried out. As y'all can see, I still got my water. A day before the weigh-in, my weight is on point. I'm already on weight. And Miami weekend is going to be crazy. I hope JoJo ready because I'm ready. I've been ready. And when he got up here, I feel like he should have thanked me too because I'm the one who gave him the opportunity to fight. You know, I could have fought somebody else, but I wanted to fight him. He a hell of a fighter. And I think he's going to bring it. I hope he will. Because honestly, I'm tired of sweeping people out. I'm tired of killing everybody every round. I'm looking for a challenge. And I'm hoping to be him. I hope we get a fighter tonight. But I don't think so. I think it's going to be a clean sweep. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Tevin and JoJo. It's going to be a great fight, IBF Super Featherweight Championship of the World. We now move to the WBO Middleweight Championship of the World. And there's going to be a little bit of support in the house from Ireland on Thursday night for Luke Keeler. I was on the plane today. There was 7 or 8 coming in, more coming in tomorrow. There's going to be a nice bit of noise in the arena for him. We've known Luke Keeler a long time. He was on one of our shows once. He had one of the best 2-round fights I've ever seen against Tom Duran. Unfortunately, he battered Tom Duran from pillar to post, then walked onto a left hook from nowhere to lose that fight. And I always felt that he was an exceptional talent that could go on and challenge for world titles. But when he took that loss, I wasn't sure whether he'd come back. The comeback has been exceptional. He's been virtually faultless ever since. He's climbed his way up to the WBO rankings. Now sits at number 2 after a dominating performance over Luis Arias last time out. He was a good fighter in his own right as well. The challenger on Thursday night from Ireland, Luke Keeler.
Yeah, just thanks everyone for coming. Thank me team, Eddie for putting me on the show, Matchroom, MTK, my coach Pete Taylor. You might look at my record and think like it's a tale of two halves. The last 2 years I've went full time. Before that I worked and I wasn't the same for you, you know. So some people are looking at this as an easy touch for Andrade, but I'm on a different level altogether, even since the last fight. Andrade, he stepped up to middleweight and he hasn't been performing, you know. He's calling himself the greatest, but he hasn't shown it, you know. And I'm going to prove now, Thursday night, that he's not the greatest, you know. He's not this guy. I label him delusional and he got a bit upset about that. I think I'm getting under his skin. But it's just the facts, you know. He's not producing at middleweight, and I'm just coming into me prime. I'm 32, but I'm fresh, you know. I think this long 10 years as a pro for Andrade has slowed him down. Like I don't see him producing. He's not entertaining for the fans, you know. He's struggling, and like he's talking that he's the greatest, and it's not happening, you know. And that little moving around is not gonna do any good on Thursday night. I'm going to take the belt home to Ireland, and I look forward to pulling off the upset. Thanks.
Thank you, Luke. The man they say is maybe the most avoided man in world boxing today, making another defence of his world title, 2-division, 3-time world champion, current reigning WBO middleweight champion of the world, Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade.
Luke, I am your father. Miami, nah, getting jiggy with it. Chit. Listen, man, it's an honor for me to be here, and everybody else too. It's an honor to be here on this card, man. Listen, we're kicking off, punching off Miami weekend, Super Bowl weekend. I mean, it's great. You know, it definitely feel like some Will Smith in here right now. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to Miami where the players play all night, all day, big day. I welcome to Miami. Aye. I'm working on it, man. But nah, I mean, listen, you know, Luke Keeler, just like everybody else, I say the same old thing. They always got the game plan, they always got the strategy, but they always end up short. Training camp was great. Spent some time down here in Miami. It's like my second home. And listen, I'm ready to, you know, do what we've been doing. That's winning, putting on beautiful boxing, you know, exposing people to the talent that's on this card. It's going to be great. God bless everybody on the card. I hope everybody do their thing. You know, they walk out the ring as they come in. And let's put on a show, man. That's it, you know. And Luke, I am your father. I am your father, Luke. Unfortunately.
Thank you, Demetrius. Thank you for everyone to attending today. We're going to have head-to-heads with the championship fights up here now on the stage. Tomorrow, be ready for the weigh-in, after party as well, on us, I believe. We're paying for that, right? Oh, dear. Make sure you're there to enjoy yourself, Super Bowl week. Do not miss this card. If you haven't got the zone yet, what on earth are you doing? By far the best value for fight fans in world, the best schedule in world boxing, and we kick off a massive 2020 with an exceptional fight card, World Championship triple header, Miami Thursday night. Don't miss it. Thanks for tuning in.
Okay, so that concludes the head-to-head. Let's bring Joe Weller back out. Joe, Eddie Hearn's just about to join us. Before he does, just want to ask you, at the start of the week you picked Gib. Have you seen anything today that makes you change that prediction?
No, it's confirmed it for me personally. I mean, I had the inkling that you know, Gib would have been more well prepared, and I think we've seen that more than anything. And here he is.
You two know each other very well. You did a show this week, did you not?
Yes, I've got someone who wants to meet you tomorrow. Sunscreen.
Okay.
Oh, no. He's come on the stream. He's come straight on the stream. He's come on the stream and he's done him dirty. Naughty. Joe was just saying that at the start of the week he picked Gib. Hasn't seen anything today that's made him change that opinion. What did you make of today's press conference?
I think if we start analysing these fights too much, like, I mean, I don't see how you can analyse guys who are so far out of their comfort zone. They've fought before. You know, we've seen Jake Paul stop Deji. AnEsonGib's got 2-0, but this is different now. It's a different kind of environment, and whatever they've tried to do in camp, whatever they've worked on, probably they won't deliver in the ring. And with that in mind, I lean towards Gib, because I don't think Gib's very good, right? And I actually think Jake Paul can fight a little bit.
He's about that roughhouse stuff.
Yeah, but I think Gib's like, when he's going to, with a KSI Logan Paul fight, I didn't really think KSI had much of a chance in that fight, to be honest, because I was watching Logan Paul training and sparring, and I thought he can actually fight. But basically, KSI just come out and dogged him, and I think Gib's going to do exactly the same thing. And I think all the pressure's on Jake Paul. Like, he can pretend that, you know, but basically you've got this little geezer. From where is Gib from? Is he up north?
Bath.
I think. Really? Yeah, Bath? Okay, right, I was going to say up north. Yeah, I know, yeah. So he's like, he's thinking, I can't believe this. I'm up here and basically I've got a chance here to just completely spin this thing on its head. For Jake Paul, he's thinking, I just want to fight KSI. So if I can knock Gib out, I'll look good and maybe I'll get that fight. But it's fascinating. I found last time we were saying about, oh, we've got Devin Haney, we've got Billy Joe Saunders, and basically the fight of the night was KSI against Logan Paul. And here we've got a World Championship triple header. Andrade against Keeler, Tevin Farmer against Joe Diaz, Danny Roman against Akhmadaliev. This might end up being the most entertaining fight as well, because there's just no one knows what's going to happen. They're so far out of their comfort zones. They're not very good, but it means a lot to them, and they're going to go for it. And they've trained hard. That's what I said on the stage. Like, a lot of people criticise this. We just did a show for Matchroom Boxing YouTube where we were talking about, is it a good thing, is it a bad thing for boxing? So long as these guys put the work in, come in shape. When you've got Shane Mosley up there saying, to me, this guy's worked harder than a lot of pro fighters I've seen, that's really good for the credibility of what we're doing here. And I don't think this is something that should be on every show. But the fact is, last time out, KSI Logan Paul hit huge numbers on DAZN, huge numbers on Sky Sports box office. So the broadcasters want some more. You know, it's just as long as we make sure they put the work in and they respect the code of the sport. But like over-analysing it, the analysis is simple. Jake Paul's a lot better than Gib. Something about Gib tells me that he's just got something in him, a bit of a dog in him. And if he can just stick it on him, is he fit enough? That's the issue. I mean, for me, Jake Paul looks fitter. Gib, I think, came in a little bit out of shape and looks in shape now. But can you do that over 6 or 7 weeks?
But I've heard that apparently Gib's engine is like the best in the camp, because obviously Gib, KSI, all of that, they all train together, and apparently Gib is the one that never stops. But this is the thing as well. Say if like YouTube boxing does well, like this, now professional boxing continues, would you go beyond 6 rounds, like make it longer?
Yeah, you could. I mean, I don't know whether they'd survive it. I mean, when you saw, like KSI was, after 2-3 rounds, I was thinking there's no way he's going to get through 6, but he did. I think so. But I think 6 rounds, because the standard's not that great, over 6 rounds, it's very watchable. Do you know what I mean? If you start getting to a point where they're like 9 rounds in and it's like 2 guys falling over each other. So 6 rounds now. I think the bigger thing is, will you ever find anyone from that world who can compete, although they are on a professional stage, on a real professional stage, with actually pro fighters? So can you emerge one of these young fighters to actually go and win?
On a journey towards something different.
Titles. They're not going to win that, but, you know, go on a little run. If it's a UK thing, challenge for a British title or something like that. I don't know. You know, Jake Paul to me looks like, through what I've seen, probably the most competent fighter I've seen out of what I've watched. But again, I think it's going to be irrelevant in this style of fight, because it's not like he's going to be going on against another technically sound fighter. He's going to be going in with a bloke who's going to be winging him in from all over the place, charging in, you know, and that's what Gib's got to do. He's got to rattle him. He's got to make Jake feel like, oh, I'm not looking very good here. start making mistakes and taking chances, swinging with him. I think it's going to be hilarious, and I think it's going to be brilliant entertainment.
Before you go, do you mind if I ask you a couple of boxing general questions, really? Is there any delay in the AJ Pulev fight? What I mean by that is that seemed to be the front runner. I know the IBF have allowed you a second delay to try and reach negotiations. Can we read anything into that it's proving difficult to make?
No, the opposite actually, just that it's close, and if it was proving difficult to make, we'd go into purse bids now at this stage, or they'd order it. We spoke to the camps and they basically said, look, we need another 2 weeks and we'll have it finalised. Almost certainly that'll be AJ's next fight, and almost certainly in the UK. I mean, the main issue we have is Pulev wants to make as much money for that fight as he can. There isn't as much money for that fight in the UK as there are elsewhere, but AJ's sort of given me the instruction that, you know, I boxed in New York, boxed in Saudi, I would like to do this one in the UK. So Spurs, Emirates, Cardiff, Twickenham, everywhere's in play, but most likely end of May, early June, Joshua Pulev in the UK.
I know Usyk Chisora has been mentioned, but is there any chance that Usyk could overtake Pulev if these talks do drag out?
Possible.
Is that route still open?
We've pretty much agreed terms now with Chisora and Usyk for that fight. It's just a case of finalising it March 28th, early April, but I'm very confident you'll see that fight as well.
With Wilder Fury, they didn't rematch each other straight away. There was fights in the interim. If they don't rematch each other, if they don't have a third fight straight away, would that open the door for AJ? I know that you were talking to Saudis and there was an offer to come in for that fight. So would that open a door for a White or AJ contest?
I just think that if whoever wins that fight, and if AJ beats Pulev, which we hope he does, basically the whole world is going to say, we have to see that fight. And I think there'll be so much pressure on both guys to make that fight. Unless Wilder Fury 2 is a brilliant fight, no one's going to want to see the rematch. Everyone's going to want to see the undisputed fight or the winner against AJ. So I'm hoping that we can manoeuvre something there. If not, we fight Usyk, if he beats Chisora, and if Joshua beats Pulev. But there's so much in play right now. And then you've got Dillian Whyte, you know, who's going to fight Povetkin or Andy Ruiz, and, you know, he's in the mix. He's going to be the mandatory to the winner of the WBC's second fight of the year. All confusing, but everything coming together, and you're going to see some great fights in 2020.
You've been in the air, although you can get Wi-Fi, I presume, in first class. Have you heard back from Andy Ruiz, the offer that you made to him at all?
Yeah, they're very interested. The first offer was for a UK fight, which wasn't enough money. The second fight was a lot more money, and that was for a US fight, which has definitely got their attention. It's a risky time for Ruiz, because like, if he comes back in a Dillian Whyte fight and loses, where do you go from there? You know, he's probably wanting to get a bit of momentum, but then again, he wants to prove himself. And if he fancies the Dillian Whyte fight, that's there. I think it'd probably be Povetkin next for Dillian Whyte, and I think it could be Ruiz straight after that. But as always, like, he's throwing himself in the deep end, Dillian Whyte. He's in a mandatory position, as he has been for about 62 years. And then, you know, who's he beat on the way? Chisora twice, Joseph Parker, Oscar Rivas, you know, whack last time out. Now he's fighting Povetkin, Ruiz. I mean, he's got the best resume of a guy who's never fought for a world title by a country mile. So we want to make sure he gets that shot.
Brilliant. Listen, I'm going to let you go. You're going to make a big offer to Joe Willer to get him in there? Look, he keeps saying no, but we're working on him.
Yeah, he's too good looking to get in the ring, do you know what I mean? He's too much of it. He should be in a boy band, not fighting. But we said in the piece, he started all this. You know, Joe was the guy who started all this. So he's now probably looking at it thinking, oh, I wish I was fighting now, you know. So
wait, how much, like, if Saudi came forward and said, Eddie Hearn, we want you in the ring.
Me?
Yeah, would you ever do it? Come on.
You know me,
ever.
Joe, I'm not about the money. I don't know where you got this.
Eddie, thanks for jumping on the stream. I'll let you go. Thanks very much.
Good seeing you, mate.
Joe.
Yes, mate.
There you go. Look, you done him there. You done on the sunscreen, but you done him with the Saudi. Would you fight? Yeah. Just before you go, excited. Excitement level's gone just that little bit higher, having seen them go face to face today.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is I'm excited because our man AnEsonGib, he's looking so confident, and I think it's given us all that boost that Jake looks like he's sort of teetering a bit, you know, with what we saw. In terms of, like, you know, what we wanted from the spectacle, i.e. them two going at it, us getting like fireworks, I don't think we got that. I think we wanted a bit more realistically, but, you know, knowing Gib, he's going to leave that to the ring. And I think we'd prefer that than, you know, them talk a big game and go at each other and the fight not deliver. So I think, you know, it's going to be a great fight. I'm sure of that, and I can't wait.
Brilliant. Well, we'll pick this up tomorrow. Make sure you join us. We're going to try and stream the weigh-in. We should be fine down on Miami Beach. So that's 5 o'clock. So it's 11 o'clock in the UK. And fight night, make sure you stay with us. Thursday night, early hours of Friday morning, Sky Sports main event, 2 a.m. I know a lot of you have been asking on the stream. So 2 a.m. And we've got some brilliant fights on the card on the backdrop you can see behind me. So Joe and I will be back tomorrow.